She was deceived by her best friend and her brother-in-law on her wedding day, but something unexpected happens. Her friend was covering her eyes so that the bride could kiss her husband while she was dressed. However, she was kissing her brother-in-law instead of her real husband. However, the two did not know that there would be traces of that betrayal. The family maid was filming all that. After her brother-in-law leaves the room, the bride opens her eyes and tells her friend that she felt something different during that kiss, something she had never felt before with her husband. He said it was something good, but different, and he was feeling good about it. When the brother-in-law left the room, he came across his brother, the groom of the wedding. He immediately covered his mouth, so as not to see the lipstick smudge. He tries to stop his brother from entering the room to see the bride, but he insists. Before he opens the door, the traitor brothers decide to reveal what really happened. He tells his brother that his wife, future bride, had grabbed him and he didn't know what to do at the moment. The brother stormed into the room to find out what had happened. He will immediately ask his bride to explain what was happening there. She doesn't understand, since the true story was different. She says she was blindfolded and thought it was her fiancé rather than her brother-in-law. To prove it, she calls her friend who was there at the time. However, as expected, the friend denies the bride's version and says that she intended to unmask who she really was and that her husband deserved a real woman. The bride can't believe what was happening at that moment, trying to explain to her fiancé what had happened, but he doesn't want to listen and says that the marriage is over. Upon leaving the room, his traitorous brother tries to apologize for what happened, but it was too late. When he was about to leave the door, he is interrupted by the maid who wanted at all costs to show something to her boss. Because he has his head full, he doesn't listen to her and ends up firing his maid, walking out the door. The bride comes to see what had happened. The maid explains that she had just been fired when trying to show something on her cell phone. She then shows the bride the recording of every betrayal that happened hours before the wedding. The bride is relieved to have evidence in her favor. The two immediately go to meet the groom to show it. When he sees that his fiancée had really been deceived, they make peace and rehires his maid. However, her brother enters the scene again, telling the bride to prove that that kiss meant nothing to her. She then thinks again, and really, that kiss with her brother-in-law had been the best of her life. Her fiancé is furious to hear that right after they reconsolidate. The bride explains that after the kiss she was in doubt about her love for the groom and decides to stay with the one who really moved her, her brother-in-law. The groom leaves the room very angry, but meets the bride's friend, who takes advantage of the situation to invite him for a drink.